next we'll go to our comps area. We know what our purchase price approximately is, or what their asking price is. Now we need to determine what is the value of this property. So for that, then, just to kind of get some quick glance at what the property might be worth, click on the RealQuest logo here, and you'll notice this alert comes up. It says you must enter the property address in the following window. It will show the address of the previous property you entered. If you've ever used RealQuest before or recently, then it will bring up that previous property. And actually, as you see, I've already looked up this property, so I don't have to enter that address in there. But typically, yes, you'll always have to type that in, and the address is found here at the top of the window right here. So, and it says that this property is valued at $132,000. So, $132,000. And now, as you can see, then our viable deals box comes up and shows NA on equity, because obviously this is a bank-owned property, so it's not an equity deal. Wholesale assigned, no, and it's red. Wholesale double close, no, and it's red. Rehab, no, and it's red again. Those are meaning that it's not very close right now. Although these ones that are yellow, these are indicating that you might want to look at this a little bit more. However, we can actually turn almost all of these green into green yeses here, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a few minutes. We can get some additional valuations on this property. Hit the home gain logo, and let's see what comes up here. Okay, we've got home gain. I'll pull that over here. Home gain is showing 130,105. Zillow is showing 132.5. So if you want to use those, if they're pretty close, then let's go ahead and use them. 130.105 and 132.5. So now we have our value information from 3 different sources. Let's go back to the properties here real quick. Let's copy the address here, because now what we want to do then is, if we want to do a more detailed look at this one, typically I don't until it looks like this looks like this is a fairly close deal, so maybe we can do it. But let's go ahead and this looks like a really good property, and it's worth exploring a little bit further. So for that, then what I usually use to pull up comps then is I will go to Zillow, because then they will give you those comps for free. And it is based off of actual sales, so there's no manipulating there. Zillow in the past has not been very accurate on their comp values, but we can get the actual comps if you just click on similar. And there it'll bring up then the 50 properties that it feels like are closest to this particular property. So what I'm going to do is I started here at the bottom right, because these are hyperlinks. If you try to copy and paste, if you try to copy from there, then you'll end up clicking on that and accidentally going to that property. So I start at the bottom right, and I will do a copy of all these properties, highlight them, copy. Then I have an Excel spreadsheet set up here that I go ahead and paste this information into, which this spreadsheet is included on the disk with the software. So I'll minimize that, or I'll shrink down that window a little bit there, and I will put in the subject property information in here. Eventually I'm going to have where this information is going to be automatically entered into the program, but at this point we have to do this manually. We don't know, let me see, yes, we do know the number of bedrooms. It is 3 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Square footage 1649. Lot area is 8,400. $1,975. All that information over here. Okay, now let's take a look at it. Now this spreadsheet has already analyzed, told you what, how good of a match it is. Let's hit sort properties. What that does is then that will bring up the 4 best properties within here. Does it within 15% plus or minus on the square footage. Tries as closely as possible, matching the lot area, year built. It tries as closely as possible within the last 6 months. Right here. This one might be a little questionable. That one's a little bit far out. But as we can see, it's kind of towards the bottom range of the price per square foot. So it may be a good one to have in there just to kind of, make sure that we have a good value. So got that. Now let's go back here to software here. Go to comps again. And we have the 4 areas here that right now, again, we have to manually input this information in. Again, I'm going to work on having this where it's automatically filled in on a following version. Alright, so now we see I have the 4 comps put in here, and surprisingly the comps are actually showing that it's worth considerably less than what RealQuest, HomeGain, and Zillow. Zillow doesn't surprise me a lot, but all these other ones are valuing this house at considerably more than what it's really worth. So I'm going to go off of these comps right here, and I'm going to take those 3 out now so that I get a good estimate valuation on this house.